our selectors have been actual HTML elements. So you've got your paragraph, your H1, your H2, H3, 4, 5, 6, and you can have the body, you can have divs. So you can put any HTML element as your selector. But that is one type of selector. The other type of selector you can have are classes. So let's just go into our HTML. Let's come into our first paragraph and let's give it a class. So we use the class attribute, and I'm just going to put color 1. Okay, so if I go back into my CSS, and down here I'm going to use my class as my selector. Now, to identify in CSS that using a class, you put a full stop and then the class name. So it was color 1 with the curly braces, and then you use the property and the value exactly the same. So let's then change the color to that salmon and save that. Then, because I use my class in my HTML for the first paragraph, it just changed the color to this salmon color. And obviously my second paragraph, because I changed my paragraph types to red, you then got this red still, although you can't tell a lot of difference, but this first one is definitely a different color to this second paragraph. So that is how you use a class to change the color as well. So back into our CSS. So in CSS we use the dot to indicate that we're using a selector that is a class name or HTML code. So for this H2 header, I'm going to use the ID and I'm going to give it a name of color 2. So if I then go to my CSS, in CSS to use an ID you need to put the hash and then the name of the ID, and then everything else is the same. So the curly braces with the color, and I'm going to change the color to brown. So when I save all, so because my HTML header 2 had the class of column-2, it has changed the text to brown. So that is how you change the color of an ID in CSS. So you use the hash for any ID. You use the dot or full stop when you're indicating that you're using a selector of the class type. And then the third option is obviously the HTML elements. You just put the HTML name in CSS to represent that as a selector. Please hit that subscribe button, like and share to help support this channel.